Greetings, citizens of the world. Allow us to introduce ourselves. We are anonymous. This is a call to all outraged people in Brazil and in the world. The happening of the World Cup in 2014 was used as a justification to all kinds of atrocities such as the forced displacement of thousands of families from their homes, the military occupation of the certain regions in our cities, the persecution to critics and opposers of the event, and a security policy based on the extermination of youngsters in the suburbs. In Brazil, poor people live in the suburbs. The event was not planned to benefit the population, also it was not dedicated to Brazilian sports fans, and neither was a spectacle to tourists visiting the country. The winners were not the Germans who took the trophy, but the corrupt, the contractors and FIFA, who profited millions of reais from the Brazilian people spent in the most expensive World Cup in history. The public debt, hidden and reinforced by the generalized corruption in Brazil, exposed the decay of the state, which prioritized the rights of the most rich while systematically have been ignoring its obligation to promote the basic rights of healthcare, education, housing and public services, constitutional rights in Brazil. The forthcoming of another mega event, the Summer Olympics in Rio in 2016, reignite the greed for acquiring public money through partnerships with the same big companies responsible for the renovations related to the World Cup, and in the meanwhile, it is evident the abandonment of the population in precarious conditions. The neglect with the public policies of urbanization, healthcare and basic sanitation had as consequence thousands of cases of dengue, chikungunya and Zika virus. Society responds in any ways it can. Countless strokes and several public servers as health, military police, and firefighters erupted in the state of Rio de Janeiro. The Olympic Games, your delegations, media and tourists from all over the world can't ignore this karaoke reality that isn't an exception but an constant. The state tries desperately to make up, conceal and disguise the situation and the shortfall in the public coffers caused by the event in combination with the low global scenario of oil prices. But there is no trick or cash sufficient to silence the people and make this invisible or minimally eatable chaos. We have observed the said political authorities organize a huge circus for the Olympic torch relay in some cities of the country. We have also seen a spontaneous reaction of the population to try to extinguish the Olympic torch, a clear demonstration of revolt against the realization of this mega event and the whole situation of theft and violence by the state. We have followed the political class using newspapers from traditional media to try to soften the impact of its crimes, not even being intimidated by the investigations that are ongoing. We have been vigilant, and we are here at this time to say that we will not wait. It is time to step up actions. We will react within and outside the network. We urge all Brazilian citizens and also from abroad who come to Brazil during the period of the Olympic Games. It's time the people take control of their streets. We will act also through the internet, exposing scandals and knaveries of prominent personalities of our policy so that the world can see what we have been forced to endure. No matter how long it takes. No matter how many of us are mown down by its repressive apparatus. We're not afraid. We will not stop while every genocidal poles of this country remain standing. We will burn down their strongholds, if required. We know what's going on perfectly. The nefarious political forces of this country rehearse one more desperate attempt to keep any international confidence that may still exist by conducting the Olympic Games in Brazil. We know that this event will not meet the real needs of most of the population, the poor, those subject to daily violence of the state against their bodies, were and continue to be ignored in the name of obscure agreements for access to social and natural resources of this country. We are not blind, either fools. We know that the extermination of the poor, black and indigenous peoples in Brazil are provided for the World Economic Programs. They don't fit on the agenda and are discarded, a project where there is no room for everyone. You, Brazilians governors, know that the world coveting the natural resources in Brazil. They, usurper, regardless of which party is, know that those below are a risk to their personal plans of illicit enrichment. So pay close attention, governors, congressmen and senators who had corruption scandals. The time for you is to come. We are just beginning. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Thank you for playing the game.